I believe we are live once more. And this time, unlike last time, we should actually have audio working already. Okie dokie, here we go. I, I'm just going to grab the link to this stream and put it in the comments of part one. Oh, my nose. Allergies or something. I don't know. Comment. Um, I'll go to the Discord for this one. Ba-da-ba-ba. Streaming again. Is my mouse too far away from the wireless receiver? Streaming again. Ba-ba-ba. Link. Enter. Um, Thrilling content for anybody actually watching this, right? And then I'll go to that other one. Screen cut out last time because I lost internet. Part 2 beginning now. And link. Alrighty, so where were we? So for anybody not aware, I am participating in the LameJam number 48. It is this fellow right here. The theme is at the end of part 1. We were over here. Let's mute that before it echoes. I was working on this this pine tree branch texture that we're going to use for our pine trees for our game, which is kind of like Missile Commander, but it is with trees instead. So, without further ado, let's see. We can open back up Photoshop. I think I'm, finished with that. You can see it over here. It's not the best texture, but realistically, what we're going to do is, crunch and compress things a whole bunch, and it should look good far away in the actual game. That's one of those little artistic tips for you right there. If it's far away, it doesn't need to look nice. There you go. That's a free one for you. Let's go back over to our main monitor here. And we can go back to the LameJam Discord. So with our branch texture finished, at least for now, finished-ish, we can start working on our next tree, which is a pine tree. Hopefully the webcam is in a decent position. I know I like to move around quite a bit and adjust and whatnot. I had during the break, I had 2 very large burritos, so if I look pregnant now, that is why. So this is pretty simple, easy peasy model here. Effectively, what I want to do, I think, because I think it would be really cool since we're going to shoot these pine trees out like missiles. Pine tree. I think it would be cool to kind of have like a little bit of roots on them, right? Pine trees are much simpler than the main tree that we made before. Realistically, it's like it just goes straight up. So yeah, and then we can do, like, ooh, look at me, I'm a little root, root there, and then another little root here. Get some like neat little randomness going in. Something worth considering potentially is also, of course, our camera angle, and the fact that it's orthographic. So things like I don't know. I haven't really done much work in orthographic before, but I think it doesn't really matter as much. Like, we only really need details on one side, technically, right? And it's like if we want to make sure we check all sides of this probably because I think I'll make the tree spinning, so maybe it's silly to check this, but it's like we want to make this appear arguably better than it is, right? So we should make sure that another thing if you're just joining us. Oh, I need to set up the jam chat window over here. I guess if I were smarter, I could have taken the opportunity while the stream was down to log into my YouTube account on OBS and then have like the proper jam or chat window for the stream there so that I don't have to have YouTube also running, which also just to save my own connection, I can turn the quality to 144p there so that I'm not wasting a bunch of bandwidth. Anywho, I think since I'll make this like rotate, it doesn't really matter, but you can imagine if I was doing something, I might have said this already. I don't know. Sneezing makes me like short-term memory loss, right? But if it was only going to be visible from like one angle, I would want to make sure that I'm not just wasting stuff on the back, right? Anywho, let's go ahead and do maybe just a wee little adjustment like that. Okay. There we go. This is probably still too much detail. We're gonna do our first save here and call it Pine Tree. And then we'll go to Shift A, Mesh. No, Shift A, Image. Images is planes, because of course I have the Images is planes add-on enabled, which comes with Blender by default. Or at least it did. They changed the add-on system recently. So, I don't know. Anywho, unlike our last one, pine trees, the last tree we did, the mega tree that we did, we did a lot of we did a whole particle system to randomly distribute the branches around. But pine trees are a lot more orderly. This also, we want to make it lower poly too, because there's going to be a lot more pine trees than the mega tree. With that said, I might still do, a little bit like that, right? But we want to set our origin over here. And with pine trees, it's really just very, very radial. So my plan here is basically to, copy this around quite a bit. And that should be like good enough, right? Bada bing, bada boom, there's one layer. And just, copy that up a few times. Bing bong. Maybe that's, no, that's still, decently optimized. And I know what you're thinking, like, hey man, that looks like shit. That's not what pine trees look like. And you're right. But what we're gonna do next, first off, after I change that roughness all the way to the top there, what we're gonna do next, oh, and also in the EV settings, which we're not set to EV right now, but in the EV settings for the material, we want to actually use alpha clip because we're going to be using alpha clip in Unity. And that should make things a lot nicer and more consistent. Now, we are going to go over here. And we're gonna hide our tree trunk, and we are going to combine all of these guys. Control J. Why didn't that work? Oops. Oh, my Control G is like stuck. We'll just select that guy, Control J. Now it's all one model. Hit that Alt H to unhide everything. And then we'll go over here. We'll just select the tippy top, and we're gonna press O for our proportional editing. And we're just gonna scale everything in like that. And now that's looking a lot more pine tree like, right? Still kind of funky because what we're really looking at here is like way too much uniformity. So let's see, random might not help that much. No, that's all right. It's not great. We will go through and essentially try to grab just like, little individual layers. Press Control L to select the whole thing, turn off our proportional editing, just give it a random rotation there. We want to make sure we don't just, randomly rotate things so that they all look the same. Let's turn on the texture view, even in the solid viewport here. And that should help quite a bit. Oh, yeah, we want to go by 3D cursor too, right now, for some of this at least. There, and here-ish, right? There we go. And I mean, already a little less uniform. Noticing a little bit of a weird thing there. Don't really know how that happened. Oh, you know what it is? It's because I was very foolish. So let's actually undo moving that off there, and then so I forgot to turn on rotation by 3D cursor to start with. And that meant that I was rotating as I duplicated these all out into a radial array. I rotated them all around their own median point and stuff. And yeah, that was bad. But it's okay now. So now I'm just gonna select some random points, and I'm just gonna try to start introducing some kind of random scaling. Like so. We've got proportional editing on, and we have it set to random right now. And again, just break up that uniformity, right? Grab some of these guys, do some of this, a little bit of that. Doesn't have to be perfect, just a game jam. But we also, just a little bit of effort, and it doesn't have to look too terrible, right? And now already, like, I do think, you can see some repeating stuff in there. Arguably, that's in no small part because it's not the best texture. Let's be real. But yeah, I think it mostly looks like a pine tree now, and we're at 372 triangles. Not terrible. And I think we're probably good to go and check this out in Blender. And you know what? We'll put bark texture on here too, but we're gonna just want to use the other one. So, did I say check it out in Blender? I meant check it out in Unity. Anyways, we go over here, refresh real quick. Did I name our pine tree branch? Yeah, I think it was automatically named. Um, did I save that to the right place? I must have. Yeah, we should be fine. Anywho, here it is, and then we already have a bark material for our main tree. There's no reason to have two. Just go ahead and apply that as an on-demand remap. And then we gotta extract our pine tree branch to our materials folder so that we can enable alpha clipping and stuff on it. Okie dokie. So, materials, pine tree branch. Go over here. Apply. Oh, turn off the rig and stuff over here too. So, pine tree branch, turn off our locked inspector there, turn on alpha clipping, make sure we go to our actual base map. Alpha is transparency checked. Use crunch compression. Max size 512, but we're probably going to set it a little bit lower than that. And let's see how she looks in game. Wow. Came out a lot bigger than our mega tree, ironically. But we'll scale her down. And let's see how that looks in our game view. Okay, okay, not terrible, not terrible. I'm seeing, I don't know if that's it looks like, I think it looks like we kind of got to adjust the material some, because we're getting all these little like white pixels around the edges, and we definitely don't want that. So how's that look? Also, we want to render both sides. There we go. It's looking a bit better, I think. We could put like a slight darkening on it, you know, like typically pine trees are a little bit darker. I don't know, it's weird. Like I've seen some pine trees that are like super duper bright pine trees. I've seen a lot of pine trees that are just dark. But anyways, that should be looking okay. Um, you know, something we might want to do, two things really, is let's see. Let's go in here and just try to find the center of all of them, right? Then I want to actually hide that and bring everything else down. Although that's what's going on there. I feel like that really didn't get everything. Huh. How's that? New. New. Like that. Hey. Maybe. Let's see. Because we really want to get, basically, you know, we want planes, we want the texture planes to really face the camera, not face up so much. So like that should be a lot better. Refresh. Yeah, that's definitely looking better. That looks way less scraggly down there. And then, I think you can picture just heaps and heaps and heaps of pine trees around, right? Eh. Once they got some different heights and rotations and what have you, should look better. Um, but for now, also let's look at how the roots look out of the ground. I think that's looking pretty fine. Cool. Um, I mean, arguably I could change it a little bit more. I do feel like it is also looking really um too noisy down there. So if I size it down yet further, then I think not only do we save on some memory, but also like we kill some of the high frequency detail that we don't need because it's so far away. And then also we can probably adjust our material and its alpha clipping now a little bit to get a little bit prettier. And see, this is why I was saying in the last stream, I didn't want to worry too much about whether or not the texture really looked that good, because look at it now, right? Like you can't make out practically any details on it because it's tiny and super far away and scaled down to, a fraction of the size. Um, I keep seeing one watching now turn to two watching now. I know one watching is me, but it seems like somebody's like coming in and then leaving and then coming in and then leaving, or maybe like we're getting a lot of people uh, coming in and then immediately being like, not for me. I don't know. I guess the nice thing is, arguably, if nobody's watching, then I don't have to feel judged. Okay, so yeah, I feel good about our pine trees. Now we need to make our pine trees into. Oh, I think, like usual, I'll make a game object parent. There we go. We want to set everybody there. Um, Pine tree missile, we'll name it. And yeah, I'm still conflicted on whether or not I want to just, spawn the pine trees randomly, kind of, out of the ground, or shoot them out of the main tree, or have them all just in the scene and, like, you know, spawning that way. But I think for now, we'll just probably write up a very simple, like, because I can always change the code if I decide later that I want to change things. But ultimately, like, it's a game jam, and you gotta be fast. And I want to make sure, no matter what, that even if it's not the most finished, complete thing, that I still get to send something out. So, Yeah, let's just make a it's gonna be different than our last projectile by a fair amount because obviously the player's doing this one. Um, so player projectile is what we'll name it. But I want it to, like, honestly be fairly similar. Like, I think I can kind of copy and paste most of this code realistically. Um, I do think, unlike the projectile that we made for the UFOs, though, we want it to look at the target when it's spawned. We also That's interesting. Um, I'm thinking I actually want to change our target to a vector 3 because I want these to. Okay, and it's fine that. Okay, cool. So the look at function can take a transform or it can take a vector. That's good. Um, and then unlike. Oh, well, you know what? It's going to look at it forward because transform.look at will always look at something from a forward perspective, right? So unless there's like something to, yeah, world up, blah blah blah. It's easier just to for the tree prefab here, rotate it 90 degrees so that this is now the uh, forward pointing that way. Then when it spawns and it decides to look at it, it'll be, you know, how it is. So we're going to use a capsule collider. And I guess we'll be rotating that 90 degrees too. Or we're going to make the height axis the z axis. And then we'll set that to 5. Just bring this up. Change our center. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Cool. Um, cool. And then we need a rigid body also. We don't want it to use gravity. But we'll give it 20 weight. And we will freeze position on the z-axis. Just like everything else. Actually, come to think of it, you should be there too on the z-axis. Cool. Um, Maybe I should move that back to compensate for because that is going to change a little bit how it looked. I think it's fine. So, oh, we got somebody. Hey, Macrellin Forever. How's it going, man? I can read your messages. I have a second monitor that's also watching the live stream on YouTube. So as long as I remember to look down there occasionally, um, I don't know how long ago you sent that. Um, but yeah, hey, how's it going, man? I'm good. I'm making some progress. I've modeled 2 trees and a UFO, and I've done some basic scripting. This tree is going to be a missile tree. Um, oh, I just realized if I'd well, there's mistletoe as a type of plant, but that's like a vine, so That wouldn't be a good pun. Uh, but yeah, so that one's on its side because it's gonna be a projectile prefab, and it's we've got I'll hit play real quick. Ooh, and I guess I'm gonna hit play with this script that I haven't finished. So I'll just disable that. Anywho, you can see we've got our UFO coming at us there. And then he goes pew pew and he starts shooting at our main tree. That's the mega tree. And that's the player. And then, the goal will be to defend the mega tree. And then we'll be able to click and we'll shoot a pine tree up at the UFOs, and then they'll collide and explode, and it'll be pretty. Uh, that's that's the plan, anyways. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so transform. Don't look at target. We haven't set the target yet. This all should be good. Eventually, we'll change it to have a we'll put a trigger collider on it, right? Or we can just use collider hit or maybe an overlap sphere or something. I don't know. There's all kinds of possibilities. Um, and I guess for now, we'll a bloody lumberjack game where you track down and kill lumberjacks. I can dig it, man. Yeah, that's good. It's also protecting the forest, but from like a perhaps more thematically appropriate threat than aliens. Yeah, that should be cool. You'll get to run around as a tree. That'll be dope. um, okay, so uh, pine tree launcher script. And then our pine tree launcher script is going to be kind of similar to our saucer script. Kinda. At least the first chunk of it is. Just yoink that. And then we don't really need the distance, but we're keeping our timer. No, we don't need the timer either. Okay. I mean, I guess actually we might want the timer later. If we're gonna like I'll just remove it. Because for now we're just gonna let the player launch trees really fast. And then I'm gonna change that to player projectile, and then we need to change this to target dot position. Although I guess we're actually going to, well, that's an interesting idea. I could leave that as a transform. I definitely want shot spawn to be a transform. I think I want to make target just vector 3 though. Okay. So that sets our target for the pine tree missiles. And then we need this to be if input dot get button down, I think. ink fire one is the default, then we can launch a tree missile. There we go. And for now, shot spawn. Well, we can make a shot spawn script, but for now, like, let's refresh everything. Um, and we'll just make it so that our mega tree is the shot spawn script. Like so. We can add our pine tree missile to the prefab folder. Readable code, scary. I mean, yeah, it's like it's there. It's simple code. Okay. Uh, what was I doing? Right. Pine tree missile into our projectile. And then we actually need to remove our rigid body reference here. There we go. Also, our max timer there. And our timer and distance, I guess, actually. There we go. And then, shoot. I still need to... Okay, this will be interesting because I haven't done this before. I need to raycast to a screen position. I might have done it once before, but I know that there's a Unity screen or raycast dot screen position or something, right? I mean, heck, it might even be camera rays. Okay, so cast a ray from a camera. I'll just find the raycast page. Let's see. I mean, obviously, physics.raycast. But I could swear there was one that, like, just raycasted to screen coordinates. Because, like, with this, I think the problem is if it doesn't hit something. Ray equal camera dot main dot screen point to ray input mouse position. Yeah, okay, beautiful. Camera dot screen point to ray. Okay. I it looks like that showed up in chat like right when I found it on here. I don't know how bad the latency is. You're probably like looking at that being all like because I can see on my screen that I'm still scrolling down on the stream. Anywho, just do I have a fixed update in here? No, we do not. Okay. Okay, so let's just say I mean really I want it to hit no matter what. Um yeah, it's like It's definitely there's definitely a decent chunk of latency. I don't have the best internet. Okie dokie. So, doop doop doop. I mean, I guess maybe I don't even actually like need. Yeah, I don't even need a raycast. I just need camera.main screen point to ray. So, yeah, target equals, and then, oh, yeah, any chance screen point is a thing? Nope. I mean, I guess I could also like screen to world point, screen to viewport point, viewport to screen point. Bro, what? Hey, hey, Jinsky, how you doing? Okay, well, I guess we can do target dot target equals ray dot get point new hit, because it's not a raycast hit. Can I just make it a raycast hit without breaking things? Camera dot main screen to world point input mouse position. Okay. That's I don't know if like people watching in the future can read the chat. I'm not sure they can on my channel, but Macrel Forever suggested, because it's 2.5D, uh, to use camera.main.screenPoint to world point input.mouse position. Um, so screen to world point, and then hmm. So isn't input dot mouse position, because this says it takes a vector 3 position, but I guess it's upset that it's array now, right? But I could potentially just, okay, I can just use this on its own without a raycast then. Okay, cool. Um and I can probably put that in update. There we go. And then yeah, I mean, target equals screen to world point, and I'm hoping that I want the to always be 0. And yeah, we'll test that super quick, but theoretically now it should only pass the target like right when the projectile is fired, and then it should just go straight there, I think. We will see. Let's also for some garbage cleanup, add a destroy by time here. Refresh everything. And yeah, it looks like Matt Grellen also said it is an array. It outputs a vector 3. So disable the pine tree missile in the viewport there. And I'm pretty sure I already set it up to have like the prefabs and stuff. So, uh-oh. Oh, the variable RB of player projectile has not been assigned. Just pop that in right there. Now it should work. There we go. All right. Now let's check out. Okay, so this is getting a little off on our Z position. I think partially I think partially because it is spawning like inside the tree, right? Also is the mega tree. Yeah, the mega tree should be at that point, but let's just go ahead and create an empty here for the shot spawn. What's up with the trees? The trees are saving planet Earth from aliens, man. Uh, all right. Oh shit! I shouldn't be doing all of this in play mode. Okay, so create empty shot spawn. And then set that there. Okay. And then we want the shot spawn to not be inside the tree's collider. At least for now, like later on we can set it up so that it yeah, maybe I can I change also the rotation on this guy? What would the proper thing to change here be? Would it be Y? No, maybe. Well, I don't know. We'll just try all of them because it is, well, it's getting set to look at the beginning, right? I don't know. We'll see how it works. Okay, fire, fire. It works. Oh fuck. It is it's a little off though. 'Cause I I want it to point at the fucking point that I'm trying to get it to point at. So what I'm getting from this is like it is it's mostly doing what I want. I think. Let's see if we change that. Yeah. Okay. So, huh. I think maybe you know what I'll do to oh, look at that. I'm getting an error. Screen point out of view frustrum. Okay. Uh so I need to clamp the Z, I think. Because we're getting screen pos infinity minus infinity. But it is effectively working. I mean, you know, it's we'll see. Um probably not. Probably not gonna win. But we'll see. Um okay, so or wait, was that error potentially when did that error happen? Because I've got 66 of it right here. Um And like, what if that error was actually just coming because like my mouse wasn't on the screen? Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. No, so like if I go over here, yeah, huh? It's gone now. Weird. Oh, how great. This is this is exactly what I wanted. um I mean, yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking too, that it's when I click outside the screen. But I don't know, I'm trying to click outside the screen now and nothing, so it's weird. Um, but maybe it was when maybe it was still registering when I was in like scene mode or something. Um, Either way, we need to make sure that target plus equals. Would that work? New. Um, we need to times it, I think. New vector 3. Although I seem to recall every time I try to multiply, yeah, yeah, it never goes too well, does it? Um, yeah, nah, huh, can't do that. Uh, but if I do that, it doesn't really do anything. Yeah, the plan is to add damage eventually. But yeah, for now, it's kind of great how it just like pushes it away, right? Um, oh, let's see. Can I do like target dot z equals 0 f? Cool. Yeah, there we go. I think that works. Um, and then that should hopefully fix our rotational things. Did I remember to recompile that? I don't think I did. Okay. Recompiling. There we go. Much better tree missiles. It's beautiful. Should I enable gravity on them maybe? I don't know. Because it would be funny to watch them drop back down, right? But in terms of like gameplay reasons, it might be stupid to have gravity. Also, let me check if my phone is like staying charging this time. It is. Cool. Last stream died because my phone decided to ignore the fact that it was plugged in. Um, and died. Okay. Well, this is good progress. Whee! You know it's good when you actually, want to use the feature, right? All right. Let's see. Drink some water. Yeah, I get Wi-Fi from my phone. Hello, Voluted Beret. Basically, don't uh don't tell Verizon I do this because I'm supposed to have uh limited hotspot data, but I found out a way to have unlimited hotspot data. I guess, ironically, I keep looking at the chat box down here when I talk to you guys, but then the camera's actually over here. Um, Wait, I'm gonna switch to standard mode. Maybe turn on some more lights. It's pretty dark in here. Alrighty. Let's see. Um, all right. So for those of you just joining, this is what we got so far. The game is going to be called Aliens versus Trees. And yeah, we're going to shoot tree missiles at flying saucers. Um, so far today, I've both made textures and modeled two trees as well as the flying saucer. And I've got some basic scripting going. I'm getting kind of, I don't know, sleepy. I feel conflicted. I want to push through and get more done, but like, I'm not sure which part I should do now. Um, I'm probably sleepy because I had those two giant burritos, right? That'll make a guy sleepy. I think my head's getting cut off in the frame again. I guess, yeah, next thing to do is to work on our pine tree missiles. And I guess we'll make them triggers. And we'll open up our player projectile script here. And we'll add in a new void on trigger enter if other dot get component saucer script, then other dot destroy or destroyed other, and also destroy game object. Let's just try that out, and then I can add, visual effects later. I was thinking for destroying the flying saucers, I would maybe, instead of instantiating, I might um, enable and disable visual on it. But for now, um, let's see if that works. Oh, well, it destroys itself. Oh, wait. Huh. Well, that's peculiar because now it's not, doesn't seem to be colliding. Oh, I destroyed the collider on it because I need to not destroy other, I need to destroy other dot game object. There we go. Just recompile that. And unpause, and I guess actually I need to restart because it doesn't have a collider anymore. Okay. Fire our tree missiles, and both are destroyed. Beautiful. Okie dokie. We're gonna probably next step before yeah. The with the latency, I was indeed destroying the collider, not the game object. Okie dokie. So next up, we're gonna kind of need a saucer spawner, right? And the difficult thing about the saucer spawner here, I'll look at how professional I am. I'm like totally switching to a main view while talking game theory shit, right? Um, I guess like eventually we're gonna probably want to like make a wave system. But just to start, we can probably just for testing purposes and working out the base functionality and how ships get destroyed and stuff, I can set up just something that, spawns randomly right now without worrying about waves and stuff. Back to the normal scene. Okay. So, um, I guess we'll just make a new game object, new empty, and we'll just call this UFO spawner. And UFO spawner as a script, create an add. And then I guess, yeah, realistically, let's see. If I turn on gizmos, can I see this guy's transform? No, not really. Because I'm thinking we can probably just like, randomize the X position on it and then just use the Y of the game object and just kind of make it easy on myself, right? So we'll go in here and we need to just, we'll rip my timer from here. I guess I'm not actually saving myself very much time when I do that because I have to delete like half of that, but whatever. Timer and max timer. Don't need those. This becomes UFO. I guess it should be lowercase UFO. Get rid of distance. We have our max timer. Let's actually set it to just 8 by default, we'll say. Then we can remove all of this distance and attack range. We don't need to reference. Actually, we do need to reference the UFOs right now because right now the UFOs, they get their target through a serialized field that's referencing the player. So we will actually essentially replace that over here with transform target, and then yeah, that'll be great. Cool. And then transform dot position, but plus new vector 3 random dot range, and then I bet you Macrellin Forever could tell me exactly what function I'm looking for here. Camera dot main dot screen bounds dot bounds. Scaled pixel height, scaled pixel width. For now, I'm just gonna be lazy and say negative 50 to 50 on the X, and then we'll do 0, 0, or actually, yeah, 0, 0, because we're adding to it, right? So we don't have to bother with that. And then we are doing UFO, and then we are doing saucer script instead of projectile, and we need to make its transform for that public. Transform shot spawn. We don't need the shot spawn to be public, right? Public transform target, and then we have our not public shot spawn there. And then if we go back into our UFO spawner, it does have the target, which we can set to target, and we'll recompile our code. Now we need to first off move homeboy here to the center of the scene, and then we can make him a new prefab. Yippee! Progress! And then with our UFO spawner, we can drag the saucer into it, and we can set the mega tree as the transform target. And then theoretically, let's just disable the saucer in the scene there, play, and see how it goes. Alrighty, so game. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, we got multiple spawning. It does look kind of like they're spawning all at the same place. I would be willing to bet that our random only became a random once. But yeah, we've got we for sure are spawning flying saucers at least. Oh wait, no, it's that one spawned at a totally different place. Um, that's interesting. Because so many of them, it seemed like were spawning at basically the same spot. Sweet. Macron Forever says, was away for a second. Anything new? I don't. Well, I don't know how long a second is, but we set up the UFO spawner, so now arguably, man, they're spawning too slow, I think, to be fun. Um, but let's set that to like 6. Make them spawn a little faster. So now they're all coming and they're attacking our tree. Let's set that to 4. Don't worry. When it's like finished, it'll be even cooler than when we were pushing the spaceships away, because there will be like sick ass explosions. That's the plan. Let's set the timer to 2. Do. And then I'm gonna probably have to limit how fast we can fire trees. Or maybe like the at some point, maybe we'll just start like we'll spawn progressively faster and faster through a wave or something, right? I had kind of been in my head playing with the idea of like I need to make the trees rotate too. And I should probably add like a smoke trail. Uh, the whatchamacallit. God, I am just not good at maintaining a thought today. Um, but yeah, I can like slowly speed. Oh yeah. That's right. That's what I was saying. I was considering maybe like making like smaller trees that you could buy and spawn in between levels. I don't know that like I can get to that. Um, but yeah, um, so far, I mean, I can see how like I don't know. I think I could keep up this rate of spawn at one ship per 2 seconds, like forever. Maybe at some point, maybe it would make more sense to let them fire whenever so that there's like really a reason to kill them fast. I'm also wondering about like the potentials of absolute tree spam here, right? I think it's probably fine. I mean, I can spawn a bunch of trees, but like I don't know that I can actually spawn them fast enough to like, you know, break the game. Um Anywho, let's get to work on some more shit. So in our pine tree missile prefab, I reckon I don't need to like. Well, no. I think because I also want to make the flying saucer visuals start to or just rotate continuously as well. I think I'm gonna make a new script that just rotates on a specific vector. So rotate. Yeah, I'll just call it rotate. Uh, I'll call it continuous rotation in case I ever want to add like not continuous rotation at some point. Um, or you know what, constant rotation. There we go. That's a good script name. Da, 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 da. So void update. It's also not like that important of a script, so I'm just gonna put it in late update. Um, we're gonna make a serialized field vector 3 rotate amount. And then inside here we're just gonna add this to the thingy-mabob, which is gonna do like transform.rotation plus vector 3, right? I guess we'll have to do Euler angles, but it should be fine. Transform.rotation equals transform plus equals, right? Transform.rotation plus Euler. Euler. I think it's capital Euler. I know every time I'm doing this, it's like deprecated. Um, yeah, okay. What about, is it quaternion? Oh, accidentally pressed insert. So quaternion dot Euler. There we go. And then rotate amount. Let's see. Would it have to be new vector 3? like so. Uh, oh wait, when it's quaternions, you have to multiply them, not plus them, right? Times. A, maybe, please? Oh, plus equals. So what if we just do equals? There we go. All right, so refresh that, and then I just want like a very light, continuous spinning rotation on the bottom or on this pine tree. So let's try that out, and then also while we're at it, gonna be the exact same thing with the oops flying saucer, wrong folder. And also just with its visual. Ooh, transform.rotate. Good point, Eluded Beret. I I probably should have done that. I think that one does work better. Okay, so let's see how it goes. So the UFOs should spin. Oh, that's the wrong axis. Are the trees spinning? Okay, so let's check this out first. Let's see. Oh, that's already rotated on the x-axis. So let's switch that to 2, and then we'll shoot these guys. And the next one that spawns should be rotating. I don't know if you'll even really be able to see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it's like jittering a little bit, but because it's like effectively a perfectly spherical thing, you can't really tell. But we should be able to tell on a pine tree missile. There we go. Yeah, that's better. All right. Gotta have those spinning pine tree missiles. Um, and then, like later on, I plan to add a little bit of like texture to the flying saucers. So it should be more obvious that they're spinning. I don't know if you can see it at all on the stream. Like because they're really, really low resolution, you can kind of tell that they're spinning a little bit just because there's this slight jitter. But yeah, whatever. Um, all right, so next up, let us switch to the other screen. Do, 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 do. And then this isn't gonna take very long at all, honestly. And I guess while I'm here, I'll just bring chat over here. And we're just going to, oops, okay. Just gonna make a new texture. It's gonna be 512 by 512. Mouse over here. We're just gonna name this smoke, and we can probably use this as our regular old smoke for everything, for explosions, for our pine tree missiles, etc. And let's see. I'm going to fill this with black, like so. Press D to get our little default thingy back, and then I'm sure in my collection of brushes, I've got something that looks like a cloud or a puff of smoke or something. Like this. Oops, that's the eraser. On the brush. Let's see, bunk, bunk, bunk. Yeah, that's not terrible. Try out some other ones. Kind of like the look of that. There we go. And just kind of well, I don't know. That might be too round, huh? That guy. In Photoshop, indeed. Photoshop CS6 before they switched to subscription models. The version worth getting, the last version one could actually own. Here. What about? Yeah, I feel like this is close to what I want, maybe. I don't know. I kind of I like the ice cream cone-ish kind of fluff of this. I feel like that makes for slightly better smoke. In the end, we're gonna, probably compress it down to some amount we can't even really see, right? But whatever. We'll go there. I mean, that should be good enough. Um, that's a that's a good question, Macron Forever. I'm not sure if you can from Adobe. If you can't, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some other way you can like get it. Like there's a lot of like third party sellers that'll take a really long time to get rid of their stock on stuff. I know that that's like a thing with ZBrush. I know for a while after ZBrush switched to subscription, there was still a lot of third party retailers that were like, hey, we've still got the perpetual one if you guys want to grab it. And so it might be possible to do that. And then, you know, you can always sell the high seas. Yar! Too. Not that I would ever encourage or promote such heinous activities, but anyways, let's see. Back to the smoke. So what we're going to do is Control A to select the entire thing, and we're going to do Control C a few times. Now we're going to go into channels, and we're going to do a new one to make an alpha. We're just going to paste that in there. And then, yeah, that ought to do it. So now we've got a nice matching alpha. We'll just save that in there. Oof, that was a loud noise as I moved the tablet. We can switch on back to our main scene if I cannot get confused as to where my cursor is looking at it in OBS. We'll bring the chat down to the other screen. And then over here in Unity, we've got our new smoke sprite. And then we'll use alpha is transparency. And let's see. Make sure, I mean, obviously the max size it can be is already 512 because I made it at 512 by 512, right? But yeah, anywho. Now we just want to make a new particle system. Where is it? Rendering, effects, particle system, and smoke trail. Make a new material here, smoke. Go to shader, particles, simple lit. I'm gonna go grab my standing mat. I was using it as extra insulation for a hole in my wall last night, but I'd like to stand on it now. Okie dokie. Let's see. Although now it might get cold, but we'll see. So let's drag and drop that onto our particle system. Um, and then you should be transparent and use the smoke texture there. And we can, adjust it here if we want. Um, should we use alpha clipping? It might be okay-ish, maybe. Um, we'll do a little bit of alpha clipping just because it's my understanding, and I could totally be wrong, but I think it's a little bit more performant usually to have alpha clipping. Yeah, yeah, it is. I put a tarp on the outside of it, and then I put my standing mat over it last night because it was extra cold last night. And then I got like a bunch of pillows and like a backpack stacked against it. Um, and I feel like I don't know if I'm crazy or but it seems like there's a slight noticeable difference already with the standing mat not in front of it. I feel like that one was like the good blocker of draft. Anywho, let's see. Make this a sphere. We don't really want like any start speed on it, basically. Um, we want to make sure that it lines up with the bottom here. And really small radius. We need it to be in a world simulation space. We want a much slower rate. And we want the color over lifetime to change. So when it's at the end of its life, fade out. Maybe bring that in a little bit even too. It's probably the alpha clipping that's making that look a little funky. But let's also go to the actual smoke material and let's add a little bit of transparency to start with too. And I think that should make it look better. And I mean, already that might look okay in the scene. But let's just do some things. We know speed, or we know smoke gets bigger over its lifetime. So we'll go ahead and we'll do something maybe kind of subtle. We don't want it to start too small. We generally want it to be like big by the end. It might be worth, shucks. Might be worth changing the, might be worth making a trail instead of smoke particle system like this. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, again, it's just a goofy little game, right? Like, we'll see how that looks. I shouldn't spend too much time on it. That is my consistent issue in game jams is spending way too much time on visuals. I'm not really seeing much in the way of a smoke trail though. That is odd. We're definitely like getting a few little chunks of smoke off in the background, but like, yeah, that's weird. Huh. What up with that? Maybe it's because they're going so fast and the emission is so relatively slow. Like it seemed like a ton in here in the preview, Let's pre-warm it also. Um, and then emission, set that to like, let's say 5. Spawn in a new one. Okay. It's a little bit better. I mean, we're definitely like getting a little thing now. Switch over to sitting mode. Drink some water. Okay. So I think part of the issue is also that it's just starting out too small. And so like let's say, start at like 1, get up to 2 or 3. Um how's that look? A little bit better, arguably. Um Still not good though, not fast enough. Increase the rate. Yeah, I mean it's a bit better. Um, ooh, that start lifetime is super long, isn't it? Let's go with like 2. I think I might be better off using a trail renderer, honestly. It is kind of cool though. Okay. Um, let's pop back over then. And put a hoodie on. Okay. Ugh. Okay, so um we were switching over here. So let's go ahead and make a new document. And let's make the width 1024. We'll go ahead, fill the background with black again. We're just going to save this as smoke trail right away. And we'll just kind of do, whoop, something like that, right? Maybe do, a little bit of fluffy on it, right? Do 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 do, and then we want to go offset it, which of course the window for is on the other screen, and do that by 512. We'll grab our smudge tool. Da, 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 da. Oh, look at me, I'm like super well blended. get a load of that, huh? All right. Hit a little bit more of the base smoke in there. There. Offset it again. We use that smudge tool to get that cool little blurry motion in there, and a little bit more smoke. And let's see, so that is tiling seamlessly. Save that. Put that aside. And switch over here. Then instead of having our smoke trail there, we'll put a trail here. Name it smoke trail. Make a new material called smoke trail, and it's going to be simple lit, totally going to be transparent. We're just going to put that, guess we need to refresh to get the texture in here. Make sure that alpha is transparency, or just input the transparency from the grayscale there. That'll do just fine. Now for our material, pop that in, and then put that on here. And now we don't necessarily want it to stretch, maybe tile or static. That might be too much. 0.1 or 0.2 or 3-ish. We'll start it out small-ish, and then we'll let it get big, like so. And then we need it to also fade out, of course, at the very end of its life. And then, yeah, maybe a smaller time. Here, like that. Oh, don't cast shadows for sure. And then, like, if we can make that width bigger, actually, I'd feel better about that. Okay, and, you know, maybe, like, a longer time. Cool. Yeah, I think that'll look better. Just make sure we line it up with the bottom of our tree here. Okay, time to test. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's silly looking, but kind of the idea a little bit, right? Um we can adjust it more. So we'll start it like a good bit smaller. Maybe make that width more like 5. See how that looks. And something we'll want to do eventually also is, what if we do that also? Okay, no, that's terrible. Switch it to that. That looks a bit better, I think. Yeah. Um, and then arguably, I think also we could improve this by like making it get bigger and then, really sort of fade out at the end there. Yeah. Because, like, I know I added something so that it was supposed to slowly fade out, right? But it doesn't seem like it is. So maybe if I change it to just normal lit. No, that seems. Turn off those specular highlights. Enable GPU instancing. Huh. Well, that seems like it just. Oh, turn off preserve specular lighting there. What if we set it to one of these particle things? There we go. Now the vertex alpha actually works on it. And actually, let's make the that brighter probably, yeah. Okay. So, what's next? Pretty soon I could probably use a new background. I'll definitely need to unparent the smoke trail at a certain point because it doesn't look good if it just vanishes when we actually hit an enemy. Thank you. I think I think we could move that up a bit. Yeah, just keep the visibility a little bit higher. And I'm also considering maybe like a very light emission on it. I don't want it, bright enough that it's like causing bloom or anything, right? But like, I think that's a nicer touch, just making them a lot more visible like that. Thanks, guys. This is the other thing that I lose a lot of time on in jams is like doing something and then just being like pew 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 pew. Okie dokie. So let's see. Next up, we've got to boop 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 boop. Let's let's work on the UFOs a little bit. I accidentally opened the file not that long ago, so why not? Um, we could give them a small texture. Um, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's just mark seam here, and then mark seam there. Go to UVs and reset. This is one of my favorite texturing tips inside Blender, or UV tips inside Blender. Um, let's see, let me make sure I get the chat showing again. There we go. So yeah, you just, select a chunk of stuff. They should be quads for this to work, but then you do U and reset, and then you do follow active quads. And so if you're gonna do something that has like a tiling texture on it, this is just like awesome for it because now all of these quads will, just pick up that seamless tiling thing. Um, Mm. Yeah, that's a good idea, you guys. And I think I could do that as since they are already spinning, if I just make like a little texture that has some lights on it, then like that could totally just fit right in, right? So we'll switch this over, and then I guess arguably this is the kind of texture that I shouldn't do with the stylus. Um, but it's on my stylus screen, so I guess I'll give it a shot. Um, or I could make this texture in Blender. That would be a good way to do this too. Um, because like making whole textures and stuff in Blender is like super cool. Um, I mean, it's gonna be a very simple panel thing, uh, so I'm probably overthinking it. Set that to 50% gray. Let's grab ourselves the dodge tool or something, and then we'll just do, random squares. And we'll use this as a bump map probably. Hmm, interesting. Oh, that's right. If we're gonna use offset, we should use a proper value for it. There we go. Let's do a double offset too. Like so. And then that way we can like, you know, really do this like that. Let's grab our burn tool. Then also burn areas too, right? Okay. So we'll see what that looks like. Um, saucer hole. There, save. And then the material is actually in here. Um, this is I know I mentioned it earlier on the first stream today, but this is one of the coolest features in Unity, in my opinion. You can just make a normal map from a grayscale right in it. So just change it to normal map, create from grayscale, apply, bada bing, bada boom. We'll change the filtering to smooth and maybe lower the bumpiness. The bumpiness, it doesn't matter that much because you can also just change it or the amount the normal affects it over here, right? But it's still, it's a cool thing. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Let's see how that actually looks on one of them now. Let's see. Yeah, not the most lined up with anything, huh? And so we were working on changing those UVs a moment ago, so let's save that, and then we can refresh over here. And it should repeat really nicely, or at least semi-nicely. Something we'll do is, just kind of crunch it down like that. I think could be a cool look. All right, there we go. And then let's just do like, this can be a really, really tiny map. Like arguably, I'm not even gonna bother switching screens for this because literally I'm just gonna put in like a single little dot, or maybe a few. We just do like dunk dunk. That way it's very like alien looking. Save that. Come back over here. Make sure to refresh that. And then on our saucer metal material, we can plug that in real quick. There. And then we've got these like tiny, tiny little dots of light on them. I don't know if that'll be too much or not. But I guess let's check it in the game scene. Oh, wait, what? Um, okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, Macrellin forever wants to see, I think you're saying the normal maps thing. So yeah, just saucer hole here, and then up here where it says texture type and where you normally set a normal map to be a normal map, just change it to normal map, and then you can check create from grayscale, and then you can change the bumpiness and the filtering, and you can even flip the green channel in there and stuff too. It's so handy because like, back in the day we used to have to like um, do stuff for that. There was this like stupid Photoshop plugin that from NVIDIA that like, did the same thing but took more button presses than Unity does for it. So yeah. Um, and again, just in case you were looking away when I said all that the first time, select your texture in the inspector, change the texture type to normal map, and then check create from grayscale to make a normal map. Okay, so let's see. Why haven't any UFO spawned in a bit? Oh, probably because I had clicked on something else. So they're going so crazy fast that I don't think you can even see the lights on them. So like, let's change that to like 0.2. And then the next UFO that spawns should be a lot slower. Oh, geez, it's still pretty fast. We'll do 0.01. Okay, you can like kind of see the lights on the sides. It's so small that it's a little hard to make them out. And let's see. Definitely like easier to tell that they're there though now if I turned off the directional light. Come on, UFO spawner. Um, because I was thinking the highlights from the metals might have been kind of getting in the way. Yeah, you can see the lights a little bit. And I think I'm kind of maybe okay with that. Like, I'll maybe a little bit faster. Um, like 0.05, we'll say. The thing is like I want to keep them so small that oh yeah, oh shit, you're right. I do need to multiply that with delta time, don't I? um, good catch, mister. Let's see. Times time dot delta time. Yeah. Okay. And then recompile that. Okay. Yeah, I mean honestly, like you can barely see them in game too, if I'm being real. Uh, let's see if at full screen it's a little bit better. Eh. Um, I think I'm just gonna pop over to the texture and just make the dots a little bit bigger. Save that, and then make sure we refresh it there, and like that should be more apparent. Um, and also maybe I'll make it so that this one um, doesn't repeat. So like if I apply that, then only like one little area would get them, and then it's kind of like more. Well, I don't know. We'll see how that looks. Bring the chat back up again. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe it's just because they're going like, you know what? Now that it's multiplied by time dot delta time, I bet I gotta adjust some of that stuff. Because yeah, look at the tree missiles have the same script, and they're going like crazy slow now, right? So let's also go to our pine tree missile script, and we'll change our y value to 30. Oh wow. Wow, that's hella slow now. There we go. Okay. All right, so then if we want to have something comparable on the flying saucer, it should probably be like at least 100. Oh, there we go. Now you can see like as it rotates around those four little spots show up there. Okay. Well, anywho, um, I should probably work on a different element of juice here, which will be the ships exploding. Okay. Let's see. So, inside our flying saucer file. Ooh, this is running a little chunkily. I'll just close that and this. All right, so let's see. We got our little UFO here. Just go ahead and hide that. And then it's time to really jack this thing up. Oh, that took too many chunks. So let's just try like this first. And then like that. Then like that. Shoot, didn't mean to do a brush one for that. Let's just select that and apply. There we go. Oops. Oh, interesting that you would decide to do that. Okay. Huh. Oh, did I accidentally do two of them like that? Okay. So, slice and slice. Oh, okay, that one's just going to be a little messy if I do it there. Slice. No? Huh. Alright. Change it a little. Slice. Nope. No. Whatever. We've broken up a decent chunk of it anyways. Definitely mark those new edges as sharp. Where is that? Yeah, mark sharp. We'll just go ahead and do that for all of them. We can separate that. And that. And that should be broken up enough. There we go. That piece is probably too big. Oh yeah, that piece is way too big. So now we want to create an empty here to parent everything to. P. There. Cool. That should be good enough. Me. All right. Now we'll go back over here. And I guess arguably, yeah, so this starts out as, not visible, like so. But every one of these can get a sphere collider, and we can lower the radius a bit on those, maybe. We want it to all be, we want it to explode, right? So, on our saucer script, we need to add in a new couple of methods, or just a new method. So void death, void death, game, let's see, primary mesh. We'll do a couple serialized fields, game object, primary, dead model there. So we can primary dot set active false, and then dead model dot set active true. This dot saucer script enabled false, but before that we need to destroy game object with a timer of, let's just say 10 there. And then in our player projectile, we got to get rid of that. We'll reference this as bar saucer equals and then saucer dot, that needs to be public void death. Ta-da. Okay, cool. And then all we got to do is plug these two guys in there, disable that, and we'll try it out again. let's see. Oh no. Well, that's not what's supposed to happen. Huh. All right. I think I jacked things up a little bit. Oh, you know what it is? Two things. Blender is Blender slash Unity and .blend files are weird about this. It's like the rotation will be like totally cool, man, unless you add in a second mesh, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm a dickhead. But it's okay. So we'll just turn on the rigid body there, give everybody a math of like 10, uses gravity, and now it should work. Do 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 ba do ba da bop. All right, come at me, UFOs. Okay, well, obviously there's still something funky happening, but there we go. Okay, huh? Well, that ain't right. Hmm. Interesting. Um, partially that's gonna be because of the rotation script on it, I guess. Um, Golly. All right. Let's see. What would be a good way to handle that? Well, I guess what should be going on here is that the constant rotation should only be on this guy, not the guy that it's actually on. And that should work now. Fingers crossed. There we go. That's a lot better. All right. Let's increase that spawn speed real quick. Oh, I didn't even realize it was. I guess last time I had changed it, I had reset it, or put it in the whatchamacalls it. I put it in the thingy. Um, I did it in play mode. It's the words I'm looking for. Um, there we go. Noticing a little bit of a bug now, um, where I think the saucer clone's primary rigid body isn't disappearing. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, totally. Um, exactly. Some fire, some smoke, and maybe like a dead alien. um, all right, so let's see. I think what I need to do here is unparent the other guy and then just destroy the primary thing like immediately. Um, so let's see. Dead model dot set active true. Dead model dot transform dot parent equals null. There we go. And then we can destroy the game object immediately, and then disabling it is just an. I mean, I could probably remove that at this point, but we'll leave it just in case. Recompile. And test it out, and that should fix that bug. And let's see, is that yeah, no more disappearing missiles. We need to increase that UFO spawner here, looking much nicer. And we can also like, well, I guess not, because we're doing a trigger now, but and then we're gonna need to, of course, um, put a timer to clean up all of these uh, little little UFO components on the ground. But okie dokie. So, and then I guess we can. Well, I'll just pop on my normal destroy by timer script on the prefab, and that should be fine. No reason to make it all complicated, right? And I think that's only applies to enabled things. Um, but I guess just in case, I'll set the timer to be like crazy low, um, so that we know for sure. Well, I want to make sure that the game actually, runs after a while playing. Um, there we go. That seems like a reasonable amount of time. All right. Arguably, each piece could probably be like heavier. It seems like they fall really slow. Yeah, that seems a bit more like it, I think. Okay. Now let's get some water. True. But then if I did particles, it would be like, well, I'm not sure how I'd get it to line up so much. I guess you can do like mesh particles though, right? But yeah. The Yeah, I'm looking at the messages. Okay. Hmm. So, I mean, that's like half the game already. Right? There's OBS. Might be time for me to take a nap. Hmm. Or maybe just start listening to music or something. I don't want to get copyright striked, so I haven't had music playing the whole time. Plus, I figure, it's like folks can listen to music they like that way. Um, I also maybe could use a bathroom break. Yeah, I don't know. How long has this one been going? Ooh, all right. We're at 2 hours of streaming already. And then the earlier stream was, I think, or wait, oh, I guess I forgot to change the title of this stream. My bad. But yeah, the earlier stream was like 2 hours, and then my phone died. Uh, this is 2 hours. Maybe like a break every 2 hours. Um, because yeah, I feel like I'm like slowing down. Bum bum bum. Let's see. The we still need more more effects, of course. Um, and then mostly as far as like gameplay goes, the only thing to make it like minimum is 12 a.m. over there. Damn. It's 4 p.m. and I'm sleepy. I'll probably work on it in the night too though. Um but yeah, yeah. Mm, um yeah, I'm planning to I want to I want to stream literally the like entirety of this game for the jam. Um, I missed a few minutes when the stream died earlier, but the plan is that as long as I'm working on this game jam game, uh, that it will be streamed. So I'm probably gonna like go use the restroom and maybe like nap for like 30 minutes or something and then just hop right back to streaming again. So, uh, yeah. And then, of course, it's on YouTube. So, like, not that necessarily, you know, um, most of this is worth watching, but if there was some nugget of wisdom like the normal map thing that I said earlier that you forgot, you can always come back to the YouTube channel and you can find that in there real quick too, or you can just remember like, hey, how do you do normal maps in Unity too, right? But but the point is you can always rewatch it too if you do want to see parts that you miss if I stream tonight while you're asleep too. Um, but yeah, okie dokie. I am going to go do the nap, take a break. Stream 3 will start at some point. I don't know.